that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That's my friend, Sean Belesian. KG in the building. Stick is out here as well. We're live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer. Go see my guy Tim Brown, the only Heisman-winning salesman in all the Chevrolet umbrella.
No correlation, though.
No correlation. But you know, if there were a Heisman Award for car sales, he would definitely be there. Sean, what's up, man?
What a crap game.
Yes, it was.
What a crap game. I mean, it really was. It was, listen, you guys know me. I said for a year they're winning 3 in a row. A lot of people got mad at me.
The league was desirous.
The league was desirous to have Patrick Mahomes.
Apparently not.
They were going to put Jerry West behind the NBA logo. They were going to put Patrick Mahomes behind the NFL logo. Somebody forgot to tell the Eagles. Unbelievable for the Eagles. I'm going to say it again. Like, all jokes aside, you got to give Sirianni a lot of love.
Yeah.
That dude was that close to getting raked out of there. The way they fell apart last year, if you would have told somebody a year ago this team would be back, they'd have called you nuts. They would have called you nuts.
Not only back, they whooped the best quarterback in the league.
They
whooped him.
Let's be honest. They whooped everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they did.
100%.
They whooped everything down the stretch.
But that was the best they've looked all year.
Oh, easy.
Like, easily.
Easy.
Good time to have a good game.
Yeah.
It's a bad time to have a bad game.
No, that is a fact.
Especially for Josh Sweat. Good time to have that game walking into free agency.
No, that's
by the
a
way.
fact. He's finna get paid, super paid.
Yes, he was. John effing Lord, make sure you jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. You want to skip the line, you can drop the super chat in there. We'll get to those as they roll in. John effing Lord, I was told Mahomes was elite. Was I lied to? And John effing Lord, all right, then let's just get into it then. All right? Let's just get into it. Clearly, Sean, when you put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, clearly he's a civilian. Clearly. And I tried to tell you guys all that before, right? Clearly, when you put pressure on him, he gets flustered, he makes mistakes, terrible throws, and I just don't know how they're going to win a Super Bowl with him again. Because he makes decisions like that.
You don't win Super Bowls with guys like that.
No.
That came up yesterday, too. I'm not making – because I did this thing right before the game. I'm not lying. I was goo-goo baby right before the game. I don't know if you guys went through the same. I was goo-goo baby right before the game. I was back to where I was 2 weeks ago. And these poor people in here know this better than anybody. I was ornery. I'm glad you guys.
We got a talking to. KG, you weren't here. Were you here for that last time?
No, I wasn't. I don't think.
Sean got us a little.
I was here for that. Yeah, when my man came out and
listen, I deserved it because I was ornery.
Yes.
All right, and I got a talking to. All right, but listen,
Ornery. Sound like
so
my dad.
Yesterday, what I did is I took the Lions logo, and I put it on social media, and I said 2026. Just that simple, okay? Because I think that's all our goal, right? Let's not deviate from that. That's
Correct.
the goal. Anything short of that, I'm not going to deviate.
Yeah.
We didn't succeed. And do you know how many people said something like that? You're not going to win a Super Bowl with that guy. You're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Who, Patrick Mahomes? Clearly you're not.
No,
because if you put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, he's regular.
I wanted to get on the stick phone. I did. It was like somebody's throwing shade towards Goff. I'm to the stick phone, But that's the kind of stuff that you're going to get. Mahomes is unbelievable, right?
No, not if you put pressure on him. He's regular.
But
he makes bad decisions.
System quarterback. System quarterback. Andy Reid made Patrick Mahomes.
That's 2 Super Bowl losses where the recipe is, and it's almost like somebody's been saying every other time he's on this network, the National Football League today is really simple. Everybody overthinks it. What can you do to the opposition's quarterback? How can you make his life just miserable, and what can your quarterback do to the opposition? That's the NFL today, and you saw that last night, man.
Sean, I'll get even more simplistic, and this is something I've talked about forever. On the line, your offensive line pushes people that way, and your defensive line pushes people that way.
100%. That's the National Football League today.
where the football is.
Take everything else away. I'm serious. I told you, Tony Dungy said that maybe 15 years ago when things were first starting to go in a direction, when guys were openly talking. Tony Dungy and Tom Jackson are two guys that played defense, okay? They saw what was going on. They saw that defenses was getting punished. And he said that on a Sunday night game, and I was like, wow, yeah. And it is. You nailed it. It's simplistic, but it's what do you do at the line of scrimmage? And that's why so many of us, as the Lions were designed, okay, before injuries, I would put our offensive line up with anybody, and I wouldn't call our defensive line the best defensive line, but I would call it damn effective.
But they were at the time of Hutch's injury.
Right.
They were.
At that point in time, you're right.
Indisputable.
But, so to me, you add that up, and I love the Lions' chances. But that stuff came, you're never going to win with Jared Goff. You know what my new favorite bit is? And you guys, we better get used to this going well into next year. Everybody talking about the schedule. Everybody talking about the schedule, as if we haven't had first place schedules forever in the National Football League.
The same thing this last year. Oh, the schedule. Oh, this. Oh, that.
Come on, man. Are you new to this? That's a crap.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I'm not doing it today.
I understand.
You're doing great so far, Sean.
Thank you,
Sean.
You're doing great.
We're 7 minutes in.
Yeah, you're doing
and
great.
I'm impressed with your efforts.
And while, you got to give credit to, just the type of franchise the Chiefs have been, I do think they got to go back to the drawing board, man. Last night did not look good. Travis Kelce, I think he has some questions he has to answer.
What are they going to do at the quarterback spot? Because clearly if you put pressure on him, he's just a regular civilian.
Yeah, well, Neil, he's going to be here.
You're only as good as the last game you played. That's what I'm
it.
told
Yeah.
with Jared Goff. That I was told a 15-2 season, top 3 in every category that you can imagine. He's not a good quarterback because of the last game he played. All right. Let's play this game with Patrick Mahomes.
Listen, I don't need Flannel coming over this vat.
Flannel's depressed.
Full WWF on Neil for the slander.
Flannel was
Mahomes.
like Eminem in 8 Mile last night, writing down excuses today, just looking up stats. Because I was right off the bat when he walked in the door today, I was like, that was the worst Super Bowl performance by a quarterback of all time. He brings up some Bears quarterback from the 70s. Like, he had the answer already. And I'm like, so that's who Patrick Mahomes is? I thought he was Tom Brady. Brady.
Rex Grossman. Do you remember this so bad?
And he was worse. That first 3 quarters, he was worse.
27 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble.
So bad.
Now, I want to ask y'all, which one was worse, this one or the Peyton Manning versus the Legion of Boom? Which one?
They were very calm.
Yeah.
Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, by the way, Byrne jumped in there. Game was rigged. I like NFL hates three-peats and wants the Packers to be the only team to ever three-peat. Byrne, you got my attention with that one.
Except the Packers never three-peated.
Go on.
NFL had all
the
of us.
NFL championship.
The NFL had.
Well, that doesn't
Not the
count.
Super Bowl.
Okay, then the Lions can hang banners.
See, I'm with you.
I feel you.
That's not when you're including an NFL championship. There's 2 eras. Okay, this is the Super Bowl era. Nobody's three-peated.
Yeah.
Nobody's three-peated.
NFL had us all fooled, but the real ball knowers knew. Byrne, they may be poo-pooing you, but I'm not.
Right, shout out Byrne.
I'm not. It always comes back to the Packers. Ricky Bobby dropped a super chat in there. Didn't say anything, hey, Ricky Bobby,
thanks,
we
Ricky
appreciate
Bobby.
you.
When you look at how the refs treated Patrick Mahomes last night, I said they turned heel on him. Like, it was crazy.
It was nice.
All of the penalties went against the Chiefs. All of them.
Well,
They tried at the beginning of the game to give them some calls, but they was like, nah.
The field goal, too, and it was funny because, was it Pereira jumped in and he goes, well, the center bobbed.
It was offside.
No.
Yeah.
He
was clearly offside.
He didn't flinch.
Yeah.
And I was going, here we go again, but not to be.
They just gave up on him after a while.
We can't help you today.
Right.
Son, you got to help yourself.
Exactly. Pull yourself by your bootstraps.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve Wilds, will Neil's tone be more humble or more aggressive after flubbing again? What did I flub? And didn't this kind of go the way that?
Well,
you called Patrick Mahomes Michael Jordan.
Ding, ding. That's what people are on you about.
Well, no, but hey, when you don't get pressure on him, he is. If you get pressure on him, he's just a regular quarterback.
Just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy, man.
It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost as if you should put pressure on the quarterback.
I guess if you're the Chiefs, your main item of discussion is what are you going to do at the quarterback spot this year? Because you have to figure that out because you got a guy out there throwing just egregious interceptions.
Think about the cap hit that guy carries.
It's actually not as
Yeah,
bad
it's
as you think it is.
manageable.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm playing
The way
game.
he negotiated.
Yeah,
right.
Hey,
He's
we
like,
all
I'm
know
trying
he's
to-
not a bad quarterback. I thought we were playing the
with
game.
the Okay, can we for just a second and
Try to be funny, guys.
KG, was it you that mentioned like Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
Travis looks very mortal. And it wasn't just Sunday, okay?
Yeah.
He looks very mortal all of a sudden. That little bona fide, just that hook that he makes that everybody knows he's going to do, it wasn't working as much down the stretch this year. It was
You know when I
weird.
knew he was cooked? When I saw the hair. Like when he turned corporate. Like it's like
That's a
the
good one,
Taylor
dude.
Swift people like got their claws into him and they made him like a corporate.
This is what the machine
Kinda-
does
yeah.
to you.
Absolutely.
The machine does that to you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like in there, and he's got long hair and velvet suits. And
It was pretty. It was pretty.
Velvet suit.
Pretty man.
He grew his hair out real
Or for
fast.
Kelce,
You
yeah.
know, it's amazing what extensions can do today.
Well, Taylor
okay?
Swift does have that line to the fella over there with the hella good hair, and there was
She
video.
used it.
Well, no, there was video of him at the concert taking off his hat when she said it. So take what you want with that. Take
but
what you want with that.
I
But
mean,
yeah, Mr. Wilds, real quick. I do believe, Sean, and you can the Minister of Accountability in D-Mac's place. What did I say about the Eagles? They would be able to run the football and they would win the game. I don't want them to win. Like I want the
Yeah,
Chiefs
but
to win because I
nobody
want everyone to
saw
be
this.
miserable.
Nobody saw this.
It wasn't even, to your point, he did. I got his back, but you know what it was? It wasn't even being able to run the football. It was just absolutely controlling the line of scrimmage.
By
Really.
a statistical standpoint, they didn't run the football.
it just-
that well.
45 times.
Yeah, like it was the attempts,
But
but they
that's-
wore
but
on
that's
them
what
over the course
happens.
of the game.
But that's what happens when you play from ahead, when your regular civilian quarterback throws pick sixes and interceptions in your own red zone, and then the game flow gets away from you, and that's the way that it works.
Yeah.
And look, the Chiefs were – here's the deal, Sean. When you lose in any postseason in any sport, you're the hockey guy, you tell me if this checks. When you lose, your sins or what you're not good at catch up to you. And the Chiefs are an awful rushing team. Awful rushing team. They cannot run the football.
Yeah,
They did not run the football yesterday.
It caught up to them, and you know what? It was one of those things. It is, you guys, all jokes aside, I give a tip of the cap to what they've been able to do the last 3 years. I don't know how they've done it.
No,
I mean,
doubt.
you have to,
It
but
is, and this is where it was funny because, KG, going back to the whole schedule thing, it's, okay, you guys realize they played a first-place schedule this past year, right? Yeah. You realize the Kansas City Chiefs have played a first-place schedule. The Kansas City Chiefs, I always use last year as an example. That was a team that just meandered their way. What were they, 10-7, 11-6, whatever it was? Had so many mad wins, had a loss to Aiden O'Connell, but playoffs start. And it's like I wanted to say to all these people, I wasn't in the angry mood yet. But I wanted to say, are you new to the National Football League? Is this new to you? So
no.
And by the way, we're not there yet. But when the schedule comes out, these 3 months from now, we're gonna have to wait 3 months. The one undeniable fact that we all have to remember is when the schedule comes out, there are going to be 2 or 3 teams that we thought were all that will not be that, and there are going to be 2 or 3 teams that we had as automatic W's on the slate that were better than we thought. That's the
ratio
every year in the National Football League, man.
But Sean, the reason why I was kind of pushing back on you during the season about the Chiefs and saying, it was just like the brand of football that the Chiefs were playing, I didn't feel like it was sustainable. Now, they did look better in the playoffs, but for a team that's supposed to be so great, they only scored 30 points one time this season, and that was in the playoffs. They look like a team that was just tired out there, man.
Or were they bored?
That's
the
can't
thing.
say
Tired is one thing, but complacent and just like we just need to get through this to get to the playoffs.
But that's what it seemed like. It seemed like it was just another day at the office, and the Eagles was like, "Nah, we're hungry, we're ready to go, and y'all one-dimensional."
That's what happens to winning, right?
And that's what you find a way until you don't find a way.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you don't find a way, then everybody can say those things. To me, up until that point, I was like, I can't say anything to the Chiefs. This is a team that won 2 Super Bowls in a row.
But you could get away with that shit in the regular season.
And you got caught.
Yeah.
They got caught. That's exactly
Caught up with them, man.
No, they absolutely
They're like
did.
a single mother with 3 kids, man. Just tired, man. They just didn't want to be there. It was over by halftime. They were tensed up. The body language was just off the whole night. It was bad. That was bad by a great organization. That
really was.
bad.
Really bad.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Teflon Don, Commanders fan. Play the video where you said the Commanders have no chance. Play it. Teflon.
What?
Play the video where the Eagles scored 55 points on the Commanders. Play that video. Like, that's a weird flex, man.
The reality is, okay, and again, this is one of those things. It's easier to say this when we're done. Just like it was easy to say all those things about the Chiefs until it didn't work, okay? Nobody was beating the Eagles, guys. Wasn't going to be Washington. Wasn't going to be us, especially the way we were with all the injuries. Nobody was beating the Eagles. This was destiny.
All right, when we come back, we're gonna wrap this together because I think it's time. Now that the season is over, Sean, you touched on it. We've said it before. Next year, it's one outcome. It's a one outcome year next year. So we got to look at this Eagles team because they're the standard right now. It's very easy to say they're the standard. How do we match up? Let's talk about it. You cool with that?
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Tell them about Sabbath Coffee.
Sure. I was going to go Dr. Pierce, but who's got Sabbath Coffee? Is that me?
Typically, yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're not in a typical show right now. But Sabbath Coffee, I woke up to it this morning, brewed a nice cup, came out here to Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. It was 7 degrees, but that nice, warm Sabbath coffee kept me in a good mood to come here and set up and get ready for these beautiful broadcasts today. So pick yourself up some Sabbath Coffee roasters. You can get on that monthly plan like I am. They just deliver it to your house. You never have to go outside in 7 degrees again. It's Sabbath Coffee.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Man, I am looking forward to this event. $8,000 in cash and prizes at Jars in Utica. It's called the Rail Jam. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but come out there. You get on your snowboard, and they have like a mini half pipe, and people come down. They grind on the rail. There's judges. D-Mac is going to be out there with his brand. It is going to be a fun day at Jars. February 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m., Jars in Utica. Come out, hang with the boys, watch the Rail Jam at Jars in Utica. I believe it's me and D-Mac out there, so it's going to be a smoky good time.
Stick finna get real.
All right, we're back at everybody live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer. Go see my guy Tim Brown, Heisman Trophy winner. Not really, but you get what I'm saying, everybody. But yeah, so talking Super Bowl, and we got to talk about where the rubber meets the road with this Detroit Lions team and the Philadelphia Eagles, because it's pretty clear they're the stand. Just like it's clear that if you get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, he's just a regular quarterback that makes awful throws that you can't even understand why he would make that throw, and he's a turnover factory, and clearly it's over. But we'll get into that later, I guess.
Right.
We'll talk about what's the Chiefs' move at quarterback.
Did you see that? Listen, did you see that Patriots-Giants Super Bowl back in 2011, man? That Tom Brady.
Don't remind me.
I am so sick and tired of people telling me how great Tom Brady is. I'm so sick. It's amazing what happens when you put pressure on a quarterback.
I know, right?
They turn into a civilian.
It's incredible how that works.
What a concept.
They turn into a regular civilian, and he just can't get it done in a big game, clearly. Burn. The Chiefs have had a first-place schedule for the past 9 years. Lions fans, clean yourself up and put on some nice clothes. No more white tees in the club.
Man, respect to you, Burn. I love hearing that. Man, calm the – now, remember the line before, act like we've been there before? Well, we've been there the last couple of years, man. Yeah. This is the reality of the National Football League.
DNC ENT in the Super Chat. The Pistons go 18-11 to close the season. They'll finish 45-37, be the sixth biggest season turnaround in NBA history.
Wow.
Point guard Asar is the future.
Am I crazy for thinking they can touch 40?
No, that was my preseason prediction. Y'all
I
told me
think-
I was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. We had to see it first. Clearly, we had to see it first.
I saw it before you
it's
could.
not-
I'm
it's not-
sorry.
14 to
Yeah,
fucking 40.
it's
Come
not.
on.
It's not out of the line of possibility because teams that are in the mix with you have quit. The Atlanta Hawks quit. They traded their people away. Like it's over for them.
Well, and what would have been a successful turnaround? Like when people are like, "Oh, all they have to do is win 10 more games." Like 24 wins is going to be a
I never
successful
subscribed
season
to that.
you.
I never
no,
subscribed
it's
to
40
that,
or
but-
bust.
You just needed to see improvement. Now they've given us more than that, which we're very happy about. But
Wasn't the over-under like 26.5?
it was 24.
I think they already beat it.
They already beat it. It was 24.
I thought that was a gift from heaven. You give me now again. Keep him healthy, but you give me a healthy Cade Cunningham.
Exactly.
I'm burying over 24.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Philly says, "Would you trade Goff for Mahomes?" No, because all you got to do is get pressure. Just get pressure on Mahomes, and he's regular.
Copy and paste.
You see those all? Could you imagine? Do you think the Chiefs fans lost their mind when Mahomes threw that interception?
No.
Which one?
No.
Right. Which one? Is the question.
Maybe they did on his fumble. There were so many turnovers to choose from.
Do you think their fan base was like, "Get this guy out of here"?
I personally don't. But,
That was honestly, it was really weird. It was like watching the Tampa game. It was.
Yeah.
It really was. I was sitting there watching the Tampa.
This was worse. This was a slow death.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's have the conversation then, Sean. You assume the Lions. I think, from what I've heard and what you've read and things like that, I think for the Lions, everything is scheduled to be pretty much full speed ahead, maybe except for Aleem McNeil. That they're saying that could linger into the season, the knee injury, which is terrifying because he's a $25 million a year commitment. But they're the gold standard, the Eagles. The Lions want to get there. Is it just as simple as health? And I say to a degree, yes, it is. Because what if we took off Jalen Carter and Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell and from that Philadelphia Eagles defense? It probably would have had a different outcome.
You know what? I know that there are a lot of guys that tap into this show. Shout out to our Viking friends. We already heard from some of the Washington fans. Shout out to you guys as well.
They do stick around. I'll give you guys props. You do stick around.
And I'm serious. And let me ask you guys, okay? Let's for a second, we're all going to try to be adults, okay? I really have to try to be an adult today. But with that being said, okay, you guys tell me. You tell me. Because we look at our team one way, all right? I don't use injuries as an excuse. It was reality, okay?
Correct.
Injuries are going to happen in the National Football League. They are, okay? That's not an excuse. It's the reality that the Lions had to live, okay? You're a Washington fan. You're a Minnesota fan. You guys watch this team, and you watch them with a different eye than us. Don't you guys have to say that we're the team that we think we are? Seriously, I'm not being funny, okay? Don't you guys have no choice but to sit back and go, yeah, you know what? Injuries happen. They had massive injuries to key important players, okay? But you get even 2 or 3 of those guys back, depending on who it was as well. And I think we are the team that we talked them up to be. And with all that being said, Neil, even with those injuries, this is still a team that went 15-2, man. Okay?
Correct.
Now, I'm going to tell you again, and I'm never going to deviate from this. And KG, this is another one of those things I got crucified for last year. Maybe people will understand now. I don't care about winning the NFC North.
Thank you.
I don't care about the number 1 seed.
Preach.
None of it. It means nothing to me. Pull a full-on New York football giant. Win the last game of the year to get into the playoffs. Okay? Seriously, I don't go 10-7. Get hot, win a Super Bowl. That's that. I don't. All that stuff. It means nothing. It's all cute window dressing that doesn't mean a damn thing, Neil. And that's where I'm at right now. And now, do I think the Lions are a 10-7 team? No, I think they're better than that. But I'll be intrigued to hear if they can be adult about it. Okay, instead of your team sucks, my team great. Yes, everybody has to look at the Lions and go, okay, I see what they're doing. I see what they're going for. It Didn't happen because of injury, but still a massive threat and one of the favorites. Vegas feels that way. You saw some of the early numbers last
They right
night.
there.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby in the Super Chat. They won 3 Super Bowls. How is Jared Goff the best quarterback in the league, but throws 4 picks in 3 divisional rounds?
Anybody, including Stick, okay? I don't think anybody, including Stick, has ever said that Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the league.
But Mahomes throws 2 in the Super Bowl.
This guy.
But Mahomes throws 2 in the Super Bowl, and he's a regular civilian. But Ricky, I would let Cody Engel in the chat answer the question for me. But Neil, I was told Goff is the only QB who can't play under pressure. We were told that.
If Kansas City had a mobile quarterback, they would have done better last night.
But they had a regular civilian who's clearly not good under pressure. Clearly. Kenneth Matthews.
Regular season merchant.
That's what he is.
Regular season merchant.
That's hilarious.
Ben Johnson merchant.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's a slot merchant.
Andy Reid, he plays off Andy. Without Andy Reid, there would be no Patrick Mahomes. Show me any stats he has without Andy Reid. I'll show you Andy Reid in the Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes.
The fish.
Am I wrong? The
The amount of tone in this show is outrageous.
It's the reverse Belichick.
I'm
he
just
played the
chilling,
Uno
man.
reverse card, the reverse Belichick.
Right.
Super Bowl Cartier. Now the conversation is taking Jack Campbell over Jalen Carter. All right, let's do this. Let's take the break.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey, put your hard hat on, Sean. All right,
we go.
Sean, we're going to have to work today, okay? Sean, today is a day that we're going to have to work and get some work done.
Listen, I might have to walk out of here because I promise there'd be no bad words today.
Yeah, you
Sean.
can't do it. You
can't
already
do it.
know
Sean.
you're grounded. 3 strikes, you out, buddy.
Today is a day we have to work,
Okay.
Sean, okay?
Okay, we can do that.
All right.
We can do that.
Which, where are we going with this one?
We're following the log.
Following the log? All
Yep.
right. Oh, it just went away on me.
Oh, yeah, same on me.
Get it together,
That's
Neil.
why I was
Come on,
hoping-
Neil. This is a live broadcast.
No,
goddamn.
it is. You know what?
Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, everybody. That is right.
No,
Hey,
do it now.
Even when we come out to Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, there's a Planet Fitness a mile and a half from here as well. And guys, again, it doesn't. When you're a Black Card member, it's just $24.99 a month, and you get access to every Planet Fitness in the state of Michigan, and every Planet Fit. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area, and every Planet Fitness in the world. Yes, over 2,600 of them. Tons of weights, tons of cardio equipment. You're not waiting for stuff. The gym's not like super full all the time and all that kind of stuff. It's the best workout environment I've ever been in. I've been a member for over 3 years. I'll never not be a member at Planet Fitness. You know you got friends that are paying $80 a month for a gym membership. I'll never understand it. But hey, free country. Do what you want. The rest of us will be at Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
They weigh the same.
They weigh the same.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Lady Jane's, you want to get a haircut, you want to be wicked awesome, you want to look like Travis Kelce with that beautiful, beautiful hair. There's only one space, only one place to go. He went to Lady Jane's. He went to Lady Jane's in Birmingham. Alyssa sat him down. Maybe it was Bethany. They waxed his eyebrows. They waxed out the ears. They got him looking good.
They got him ready for corporate America.
He was ready to propose to Taylor Swift last night. That's how good he looked, but unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes did not let that happen because he's a mid-quarterback. So, Lady Jane's, you don't want a mid-haircut like Patrick Mahomes is a mid-quarterback. Go to Lady Jane's.
All right, keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian. We got KG. And, of course, we got Stick here in the building as well. We're live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. They are Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Come on down here. Get that new Chevy you've had your eye on. It's time to make the move. Get ready for – believe it or not, it will be spring one day.
I know, right?
That day is not today.
We shall overcome.
And that day is not tomorrow. And it is definitely not Saturday. But you get the drift of where I'm going here. Go see my guy, Tim Brown, as a matter of fact. Heisman Trophy winning car salesman for sure. Not all salesy, just like a regular dude. Like you just
sales.
Yeah,
That's
you just
nice.
talk. Yeah,
I would have voted for him.
Right.
If I had a vote back then,
then?
Tim Brown was the Heisman that year, no doubt.
Sam Flannel. Mahomes has the credit line, though. 3 Super Bowl MVPs get you that. And then Cody Ingle. He's
I told you.
Sounds
he's
like a
the
Bears
stick.
fan, doesn't he?
I told you he was showing up.
Yeah.
He may not be jumping over the vet, but he was showing up.
Then Cody Ingle. One thing we can learn from the Mahomes bad game is good players can have bad games. It's what happened with Goff. Got down early and played desperate. Cody, nobody understands game flow. How game flow dictates the game.
3rd and 1. How many times have I said it? Third and 1.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. That game's a different game. You convert, you find a way to go to score a touchdown there. That game's a totally different game. Yep. All of a sudden, you're dictating terms to everybody else. It's not that difficult, man.
And through everything that happened with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes' 78 feet of passing in the first half and all of it, DeAndre Hopkins is all by himself.
Yep.
They got the ball last in the
drop.
half. They're getting the ball to start the second half. Dropped it. Hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. And they had to punt, and that was a wrap. Owen Mullen in the Super Chat. Getting Hutch back is going to be felt immediately. His production is game-changing. I also strongly believe our D-line healthy with Hutch, McNeil, Smith, and Reeder is comparable to Phillies. Owen, great segue. Thank you. Great segue. How does this team stack up? Because, and guys, by the way, week 1 of the NFL season, I get the strong feel it's going to be Lions at Philly. On that Thursday night to start it all. I do. There are a couple things I'm certain of.
I can see it.
Lions at Philly to start the season. Lions versus the Rams in Australia. And I know.
I thought that Lions wasn't playing overseas this year.
I may go to that game if that's happening.
I actually agree with you. Can I just – I think it's going to be Washington. I think it'll be Washington that Thursday night. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, Jaden, Thursday night. Talking about them in the NFC Championship. Let's get it out of the way. The NFC East is back. All that crap. I can totally bring
East
up
Coast Love Fest.
Right. Give up. Bring Summerall's corpse back. I like all of it. I can totally see that. Lions would be probably choice number 2, but doesn't that Washington? And we're gonna have to watch it. Washington, Philly.
Yeah. Lions Chiefs will be a Monday night game too. Lions at the Chiefs.
Yeah. I can see
Lions at the Ravens will be a Sunday night game.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You can see how this is going to go. The Australia thing, I just have a bad feeling that's how that's going to go down.
Yeah, I hope not.
Aaron in the Super Chat, my favorite part of last night was hopping into Nick Wright's Twitter and telling him Mahomes looked pretty civilian in that game. It was.
It's offensive line.
Robert Colosia, Neil, the Australia game is in week 1. Oh, is it? I wasn't aware of that.
I was about to say.
Okay.
I don't think it's the Lions. I think we avoided overseas play this year.
Yeah.
Next year, though, is definitely probably.
I think we're off that docket.
We're
man.
so
no till next year.
The Lions
we've
Lions
avoided
haven't
it
played
for 3 years.
Yeah, the Lions haven't played there for a long time.
We're overdue.
I think this year is our last year. Then next year they'll give us one.
Yeah, we're overdue.
But anyway, though,
oh, could you imagine that? Oh my gosh, week 1 in Australia, I'd puke out my
No,
nose.
hell no, they're not doing that.
Oh,
They better not.
Hurricane, we need a Pat Summerall AI voice. Boy, somebody does need to create that on
I'm
the
surprised
AI.
it ain't.
John Belisian.
Riggins.
Can somebody get that and get him saying?
Just say John Riggins.
This is Pat Summerall.
It's
You're watching
possible.
Big D Energy.
Right.
Coming up after murder.
Right.
She wrote. All right. Anyway.
It's up. It's good. No, it's not.
Better than
get me
MASH.
started.
Better
Don't
than
get-
fucking MASH.
Maz gets so mad at me like that last game. Do you remember he did the Cotton Bowl?
Right.
And he was so bad. Ole Mills. Ole Mills? What
You mean Ole Miss?
What?
Oh, Bills.
God bless him.
But yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get into the discussion because in the Woodward Sports chat thread, I had it and I lost it. And somebody said, Neil, I was told the Lions need a whole new defensive line next year. So let's just discuss it.
Who said that?
People?
Are people?
Once again, it's not the vocal majority. So
Did that not get run on? I've heard it everywhere. I've seen it on social media,
wow, that's
all
sad.
that kind of stuff.
Defensive line.
That's
Come on
sad, man. Come on.
So let's
you are
talk
literally
about it then.
one piece away. Because when you look at how the Philadelphia Eagles played football, and I said this on the morning show, it was very similar to Lions-style football. Time control, run the football. Even though, Saquon didn't have the breakout game, 25 carries wears on you over the span of a whole football game, especially when it's somebody as strong as Saquon Barkley doing that. Also, you had to account for Jalen Hurts, but ultimately they play a very similar style to what the Lions play. The only difference is that they have a QB that can move out the pocket a little bit better. And yes, Stick, I know mobile golf. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know. But I don't think they're that far off, but the question does still come in the form of, okay, what are you doing opposite of Hutch? Because we can't have another Davenport type disaster this year, especially when you're chasing a Super Bowl, and we know things snowballed and it was more people injured than that, but that started the year off. Hutch was on his own. And when you look at just the way that, this team is built right now, if you go get that extra pass rusher, then you take so much pressure off of Hutch coming back off of that injury. You don't want him to just be the okay, teams are going to focus on him, and you want him to be able to come back and be himself. So I feel like that goes a long way in terms of helping him do that and helping you get to a Super Bowl, man. Just get to that next level. I think it's another level they can reach as far as this defensive line is concerned.
By the way, Jalen Hurts is an android. Like, there's nothing there. Like, there's you never see him get high.
No.
You never see him get low. I kept waiting for a little excitement even after they won the Super Bowl, and he's just sitting there going, "Oh, glory to God, my teammates are great. This is fantastic." And I was like, I was waiting for the
taking
computer.
this moment in.
Right. I was waiting for the computer to glitch. I mean, dude is just cool as the other side of the pillow. Shout out Stu Scott.
Woodward Sports chat thread. This is going to take this all in a totally different direction.
No.
Mike, see, here's what I want us to get past. All right, this is what I want to stop. Hey, Sam, at least you can say with confidence to Stick that Mahomes had a better last game than Goff. Michael, what does it matter? Who's going to diagnose bad games? But that's where we are. That's where we are as a fan base. That again, and I don't know if that's new money, if that's Lions' new money fan base. That's where we are. Like, we want to micro-analyze. Oh, well, Mahomes had a better last game than Goff, or vice. Like, guys, what are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about? Loss.
Help me out. Like, I'm serious. Like we have graduated. We've graduated. And you know what? In fairness, I'm glad, especially some of the slappies we work with, I'm glad some of the slappies didn't deviate from what we all agreed to in August. Guess what? I'm not going to sit there and jump for joy and talk about what a glorious season this was if the season ends in a loss. And correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't heard one person do that. I haven't heard all the conversations we've had, and many with you guys out there, I haven't heard one person say, well, we can't say the season was a failure. No, it was a failure. It was. If our goal is to take the next step and get to the Super Bowl and win said game, and we didn't, it's a failure. So we've graduated. We got to stop talking in dumb terms like that.
The Chiefs are in the exact same boat.
1,000%.
Failure. 100% failure. And Mahomes even said it on Twitter, I let everybody down. Like, that it's the same. Like, there are people in this chat that watch this network that are going to say, well, Mahomes had a better last game than Goff. Like, is that a dub for you or something? Like, what is that? Where does that come from? You are not comfortable. You are not comfortable with how these things work.
How you're lying to yourself. Like, that was arguably the worst 3 quarters of quarterback play
in the history of the Super Bowl.
In the history of the Super Bowl. Like, arguably, he had through 3 quarters, I think it was 56 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. One of those was a pick six, perhaps another pick six later in the game that conveniently got called back. Yeah. But that's okay. But so, like, what are we doing? And
it's
who
the same.
cares? Who
it's
cares?
the same.
No,
Chiefs,
actually,
Lions,
it's better.
The same
It's
ending.
better to flame out in the divisional round than the Super Bowl just because of draft status. Like, that Super Bowl loss would have hurt more than that divisional loss hurt. Could you imagine the Lions finally making the Super Bowl and getting dog walked like Kansas City just did? Oh. That would hurt me worse than what happened. Because, like, what happened in the divisional round was like, we lost. We didn't play our good game. That team went on and got absolutely trounced. So I don't feel as bad.
You know what? This kind of goes back. I want to punch the ticket to get to the Super Bowl, okay? And we never got to it on Friday, but our boy Peat Spivak was saying, I feel awful for the Buffalo Bills. They went to 4 Super Bowls in a row, okay? Embarrassing in a different level, each one of those losses, really, whether it be the missed field goal, whether it be getting, literally punked by Washington, absolutely destroyed by Dallas and blowing a lead. I want to get there just to say I got there, okay? I need that. I need that in my DNA. But Stick, to your point, if we got there and then that happened, I'd be beside myself. I really,
Right.
I would. I'd be like 3/4. That is, you want to talk, every one of their numbers were garbage numbers yesterday. The 22 points, everything they did was garbage.
Facade.
It
So
was.
guys like Flannel Sam can argue that it wasn't a bad game.
It was garbage numbers across the board. That was not a 40-22 game. Let's be completely honest. Ugh.
Bingo. All right. Let's do that. We are going to get to it. All right. We're going to do the Lions-Eagles comparison because that's who we got to lock and load on. I know we're going to do it this time, dang it.
They're the measuring stick.
100%. They are. Where are we going with here, Stick?
We're going to go with Caesar Sportsbook.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And guess what? You got to shift that focus to basketball now. March Madness just around the corner. The NBA playoffs are going to be getting going. Maybe you're a believer in the Pistons. Jump on that newly updated win total. Go ahead and do it. You can do it all at Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use a promo code Woodward1000. You make your first deposit with the promo code Woodward1000. You make your first bet. If that bet loses, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. All the way up to $1,000, everybody. They're not playing around here. So you can do that. It's Caesars, man, one of the OGs in the sports betting game. The app is clean. It's easy to navigate. Doesn't glitch out on you. All of that. Caesar Sportsbook, man, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won? We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG. We got Stick in the house. My guy Joey is here, the legend, here as well. Feldman Chevrolet, absolutely. Here in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer. The Silverados, the Equinox, the Blazers, you guys know what they are. If you're looking for a new one, this is the place to go. Sean has bought a car from here. I have bought a car from here. Sam Flannel bought a car from here. Don't hold that against Feldman. He needed a car. So, that was there. Woodward Sports chat thread. Steve Wilds. Reader and Z aren't a recipe for success. So, all right, let's talk about it then. Eagles are the standard. They won. You can say what you want. They won. They won in dominating fashion. Yes.
Based on what? Why aren't Reader and Z, along with Hutch, a recipe for
With Aleem McNeil?
Why? Let's even pretend Aleem McNeil's not there.
Okay.
He's not there. Why? Am I missing something?
Can we just say that Zadarius can at least be Josh Sweat? Right?
I think that's fair.
Is that a fair is that a fair comp?
Am I missing? Is it? No, I'm not being funny.
Sweat a
Am I
little
missing
better,
something?
but it's up there. It's not.
Well, let's talk about it.
He had 9 sacks. I mean, this guy. We talk about a guy that had 9 sacks this year. So I get that 5 of them wasn't with us. But.
Cool.
So everybody wants to talk about it, right? That's the big talking point. Defensive line, the Eagles, who had Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith Jr. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Lions as good in that department? Zadarius Smith, Anzarike, Reader, Hutch. Is that as good?
It's close, but it's not as good.
It's
yeah,
comparable.
It's not as good.
When we get to the other side, I felt the same way, and I said it a few times. It's comparable.
So Dr. Detroit answers you. He says, Sean, this D-line sucks. No pressures.
If this Dr. Detroit,
they get pressures.
Okay, they get pressures when they're healthy. I mean, we saw it early in the year, man. Like that was, and the best part, because going back to the days that I was there all the time, it wasn't manufactured. Nobody wants manufactured. I'm going to say again, Neil, no disrespect to you, Dr. Detroit, or anybody else, maybe I was watching a different game before the injuries started. I thought the defensive line was doing quite well, thank you very much.
They were the best in football by the numbers.
Yeah.
They were the best in football by the numbers. They were. Like, that's what it was.
But when you don't have Hutch, you have a lack of speed off the edge, and I think that's the biggest problem. Because we got maulers on the inside, so I think the inside is covered. You really just need depth from that standpoint. But as far as, like, your starting edge rushers, you need as much speed as possible coming off that edge. When you have Hutch on the field, you do have that. But who else is really bringing that?
And that goes back to, and this is why I keep bringing up the horrible argument about Ndamukong Suh years ago.
Yeah.
What Ndamukong Suh brought to that line cannot be looked at in numbers. If you're looking at Ndamukong Suh's numbers, you're going to be disappointed.
And Sean, that's the space we're in now. Everything is linear.
1000%.
It's all number-based.
It's insane. And I'm serious. It was like what he did for Uncle Cliffy, what he did for everybody that played near him. KG, that's exactly what you're talking about with Hutch.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be reflected in Hutch's numbers. While the numbers were there, to me, it's what he does for the rest of that line.
Absolutely.
That's why they call it a unit.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports chat thread.
Really close to a swear.
That's crazy. No one on the Lions D-line would start on the Eagles. LMAO.
Okay. Let's not do that. It's
a thought.
That's why we can't buy into everybody. I mean, some people just ain't got it.
I'm just
telling
you guys, man.
That's interesting.
If you know, you know.
What was the comment? No one
on the Lions defensive line would start on the Eagles defensive line.
That's crazy.
He's smoking crack.
It's out there, guys. This is
Serenity.
This is the reality.
Yeah.
Burn. If Philly were missing their entire defensive line due to injuries, they would look pretty bad too. This is where we are. So again. So in that department, who's better? Comparable? Is it comparable at least?
Yeah.
Like
I don't think it's better though.
I'll pick Philly. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'll
give the nod to Philly.
Yeah,
but it's comparable.
I'll pick Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick Philly.
Linebackers. The linebacking core for the Eagles.
They got Nakobe Dean. Who else?
Josh Sweat.
I liked him at Georgia.
They have a better linebacker room. Ours. That's not to say ours is bad, but they have a better room.
Okay. Secondary.
Are we healthy? Are we doing all of this under the assumption?
Yes.
Yeah, if
We're
we're healthy,
on
we
to
can
the-
take our
next
secondary.
year.
Yeah, I'll
Period.
take our secondary.
End of
Their
story.
secondary is young, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only real knock you can put against them is that they're young right now.
Quinion Mitchell, Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean, C.J.
Yeah.
Gardner-Johnson.
With a couple pieces that are a little older there. You know, in CJ and Darius.
We got the same thing here.
Yeah.
I mean, Amit, Carlton Davis, those are veterans in the league.
Yeah.
So.
Would you rather have Mitchell and Dajin over Arnold and
No,
Rakestraw? Coulda
I
had
don't
'em.
think so. I like Arnold and Rakestraw.
I love our
but
safeties.
they're very comparable.
I love our safeties.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got the best safety tandem in the league.
There's
no hands down.
Undoubtedly. That's why it's funny when I do these mock drafts and they put team needs up there. They have safety listed. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That is pretty wild. Your mom's favorite skater, Mitchell, Slade, Dean, CJ's not even close.
Your mom's favorite skater.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, like again, we're just start breaking this thing down. We're start breaking it down.
Listen, defensively, overall, Philadelphia is better. It's comparable. That's what I would say. Is that fair? Is that fair with you guys?
What?
Overall, if I looked at their defense and I said, whose defense is better? Yeah. Philadelphia's defense is better. It's comparable, but I'm still looking up at you.
Yeah. The
That's
main
what
difference
I
is
would
just
say.
they have a little bit more defensive line talent, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's the only real difference. They're very similar in a lot of ways.
On the offensive side of the ball,
I think the Lions have a better offense, hands down.
I think the Eagles might have the better offensive line.
Yeah, at this point, but the Lions' offensive line is, once again, top five.
And
the Eagles are better.
The exact same conversation that we had about the defensive line, though. I would say the same thing. Comparable, but I think the Lions are slightly looking up at the Eagles.
I would agree.
Receiver room.
Stop it. Stop it.
I apparently have to ask the question.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
I said, I like the Lions' offense as a whole.
Don't do that.
They were very reliant upon Saquon Barkley. And while it worked, got to give them credit, it worked. I just don't think that's a sustainable recipe.
And include the tight end. I think their tight end doesn't get maybe the credit that he deserves, but I will take our tight end all day. I will take our receivers and our
Dallas
tight end
Goedert's
all
good,
day.
but
He's good.
Sam Laporta is just as good.
Do you know what the problem is? I think for him it was the whole Zach Ertz thing, and I think that kind of people. He's a good I'll take.
He dealt with injury too.
Yeah, and I'll take our wide receivers all day. How could anybody argue that? Stop it. Stop.
I'm just here to ask the questions, everybody.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Lions have a top 3 offense. I'd take Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts.
I would too.
Somebody else in the chat said that as well.
I would too. But
he's a better passer. He is.
I wish he had that calm demeanor. Because there's something.
Well, Goff has it.
I don't know what it is about Jalen Hurts. It's just I don't know. It's kind of like he's just because he's like this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I'm not.
But
worried about crap.
we've seen Goff at times be able to just shrug off interceptions and go out there and still play his game. So I don't think he's devoid of that. I don't think he's devoid of that at all. The biggest difference is, of course, the legs. Jalen Hurts can get out of the pocket, and he can hurt you out of the pocket. That's not something that's in Goff's game.
I'll take Jared.
But Goff is the better passer.
I'll take Jared Goff in this system over him. I will.
And again, because somebody said that out there, so I wanted to ask the question.
We comparing apples to apples.
People have forgotten, like Hurts threw an awful interception yesterday too.
He did. He rebounded to his credit, but it was that first interception was bad, or the only interception he threw. It was bad.
Steve Wild says, and Philly has a way, 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 way better defensive coordinator. Well, that was his first year too, right? They lost both their coordinators last year, right?
Yep.
He was, but Fangio's a guy that's been around.
Yeah,
like,
Fangio was
I understand,
damn good
like
coordinator.
I understand the argument. We have a new DC. I get what I'm not going to kill you for that. Fangio's been around, right?
No doubt.
Vic Fangio's been around.
Wheezy D313 Hurts is just as good of a passer as Jared Goff is.
I'll
disagree.
You lose
with
me
that.
on that.
Yeah.
You lose me on that.
I mean, I would too. So
yeah,
that's where I am with it.
He might throw a better deep pass than Jared Goff, but we comparing apples to apples here. But I don't think he's a better passer.
His
than Goff.
back shoulder down the sideline is money.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he's floating the ball. And how many times have you seen him do that? It really does. It looks like he's tossing up a medicine ball, but he puts it on the spot so often. So I got to give him some love for that.
Yeah, and like, look, somebody's dropping like the tour in the chats. Like Goff's got more first downs, higher win percentage, more TDs than Hurts since 20. Like I'm not here to get into all that. Like if they play,
Goff is a better quarterback than Hurts, even as great as Hurts was in this particular game.
Barkley's better than Gibbs?
No.
Stop. Time out. I'll take R2 over Saquon Barkley every single day.
Yeah.
If you're talking the National Football League, is running back by committee and has been for a while. There are always a few exceptions, okay? Yeah. I would rather have two guys that I know can go out there and do things. And again, same thing. Mm-hmm. Gibbs is comparable to Barkley. Would I take Barkley? Yeah, I'd take Barkley. But there's two things you have to remember. Number one, wear and tear. Because when the bottom drops out, it's going to drop out on Saquon Barkley. He's taken too much punishment, man. Mm-hmm. That is an undeniable fact of life with running backs that the shelf life is small. But if you're asking me what would I rather have, I would rather have our guy who's comparable to Barkley, but not Barkley. Don't put words in my mouth, okay? I would rather have that guy be able to get a blow and have Montgomery come in than Philly, who really doesn't have their David Montgomery.
Yeah. Saquon even said it. Jahmyr Gibbs is among the best backs in the league. He's called him number 2. So,
okay.
I would take Gibbs.
Wanted to put it out there.
I like the speed of Gibbs. Like you said, Saquon, he does it all, but he has a lot of wear and tear on those legs. So I would take Gibbs, hands down.
Okay, Alex Cobb. Neil, let's be real. Last time Goff had 5 picks was against the Texans. They consistently got home with 4. That's exactly what the Eagles were doing, but even better, Goff would have had 10 picks. Alex. Patrick Mahomes, the greatest, right? The greatest. Arguably the greatest.
Without a doubt.
Top 2 of all time, top 3 of all time.
He's in the stratosphere on his own.
Yeah, absolutely. They never blitzed him. They sacked him 6 times. Mobile.
Which is nuts.
Mobile. Patrick Mahomes, mobile guy.
Yeah.
Right? Can run.
I've never seen contain played so well in a fucking football game.
It's incredible.
That Eagles defensive line played contain perfectly. Mm-hmm. And every time he tried to break it through the middle, they had a linebacker there to meet him. It was crazy.
So, and that's what people are talking about, Kevin B., the running quarterback element, though.
Yeah.
So it always comes back to that, dude. Always come, and I wonder if that was the same energy after Hurts' interception, because I know it wasn't the same energy when we were talking about it when Hurts got drafted, then got signed and signed his extension. There wasn't none of that energy out there for him.
It is amazing to me. I'm going to say the same thing, okay? I sometimes I feel like I watch a different football game than a lot of people. I'm not even being funny, okay? Hey, how about that nimble Ben Roethlisberger? How about that nimble Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Who can forget Tom Brady, the highlight films of him? You know what it is, Neil? It's that slide step. It's that feel of the pocket.
Right.
The greatest quarterback of all time is Tom Brady. Period. End of story. I don't care what anybody says. And I was one of those guys. I was Joe Montana all day. It was really the 28-3 game where I said, all right, now I'm being what I detest. If I say this guy isn't the best, now I'm being that guy, okay? It's the little things that a quarterback can do. It's feel of the pocket. It's a slide step. It's a duck. There are so many different things. You don't have to be squirmy and slippery. You just don't. Sorry. How many Super Bowls between Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady alone, you guys? Come on. Especially Tom Brady late version.
Yeah.
Tom Brady Tampa version was a statue.
Yep.
That man was a statue. Like, knock it off. Sorry. I didn't swear.
He didn't get sacked 6 times.
No swear.
No swears.
No swears.
Don't be honored.
Hey, Stick, can we do a poll? Who would you rather have at quarterback, Hurts or Goff?
I would I
want to see.
I would be intrigued to see what Lion fans said.
I want to see what people do under the security of people not knowing the results.
I would love to. I wish we would have thought of this 2 days ago. Like, honestly, because do you know how much different the answer is going to be now that they did what they did yesterday?
100%. But I do. So that's out there. You can vote on that. Somebody asked, are we going to talk Pistons? We are in the second hour. They deserve to be talked about. 100%. We're going to jars here?
We can do that, but we also got to talk Super Bowl commercials a little bit.
Oh, yeah, of course. We'll do that when we get back.
Seal as a seal.
There's
seal
a particular
as a seal.
one Stick wants to bring up.
Seal as a seal. Just an absolute gem.
I'm
absolute gem. But let's talk to you about Jars. $8,000 in cash and prizes. They're giving it away at the Jars Rail Jam going on February 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m. at Jars in Utica. I'm going to be out there. D-Mac is going to be out there. We're doing a show. I want to see D-Mac get up on a snowboard, too. You know those hockey players can balance.
Yeah.
You know he could get up there.
That'd be dope.
D-Mac
He'll
going to
be
walk
high
over?
as hell just snowboarding.
I mean, most snowboarders.
Yeah.
I'm not judging, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah, it's a good fact.
Yeah, so Jars Cannabis, make sure you come out and enjoy it with us. We will be out there February 22nd from 1 to 5 in Utica. Jars Cannabis.
Come get real.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule here for New Holland Brewing, local Michigan company, by the way, over there on the west side of the state. Tangerine Space Machine, very approachable, very drinkable IPA. And I know what you're saying. Some of you out there are not IPA guys, which typically I'm not, but the Tangerine Space Machine does it right. As I said, drinkable IPA, not bitter like a lot of those, heavyweight IPAs are. This is drinkable, man. This is new. You can tell it's New Holland, by the way. Don't forget about Taller. We were just talking about the Dutch Long. Those were consumed yesterday at our Super Bowl party, no doubt about it, and they got a great line of bourbon as well. New Holland's doing it right, everybody. Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, whatever you want. Go to your local Total Wine, Meijer, all your grocery stores. You guys know what it is. New Holland Brewing.
I really had Taller.
So did I.
Yeah, like legitimately, I had Taller at the house. It is absolutely legit. You guys, listen, no joke there. It is absolutely legit.
No doubt about it. Also, would want to shout out Lou, our guy Lou from Chubby Charlie's Pizza. Brought out some Chubby Charlie's Pizza to the whole team here at Feldman Automotive in Novi. And don't forget the pickle pizza. We've had it on air before.
Just had a piece.
There you go. Oh, it's in the house right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Would you like a piece of pickle pizza?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Well, we're doing it, though. We are talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Lions and how do they match up against Philadelphia because, all right, year's over. So now we circle the wagons. The league new year starts, I think, March 12th, March 13th, something like that. So it's time to get on with new business. We have the chat poll running out there right now.
And I'm proud.
Who would you rather have, Goff or Jalen Hurts? 66% of the people say Goff.
I'm actually, I'm surprised.
I'm
proud
about to
is
cry.
a good word, right?
Look at these guys. Like you think he's not appreciated. You think the city doesn't really get behind him, and then you see things like this in the chat, and it just totally reconfirms everything I already knew. I'm just so proud. I've never been so proud of our chat. Oh,
we did it.
66% of you are brilliant.
Number one.
You like him. You really like him.
Where's the Feldman guy when you need him?
KG's hating ass is part of the 33%.
No, I'm not at all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big Goff supporter, man. What are you talking about?
Adam, good one, Stick. No, absolutely. But yeah, Dr. Detroit, a poll in a Lions chat, so dumb. It's not a Lions chat, man. Sports show. We're talking about sports. You give your opinion.
I mean, we're heavily influenced, but,
Yeah, because it's a sport.
You've given your opinion already, Dr. Detroit, albeit out there, but that's what you do on shows. And well, that's why we bring it up, man.
Max Mayer, Jalen Hurts is Dak Prescott except with aura. I think that's the other way. He has no aura.
Yeah.
No Riz, no aura, none of it.
That's what makes him scary to me. There's nothing there. It's like Michael Myers. Put that Michael Myers Halloween mask on him. It's like the dude, is he going to kill me? What's he going to do there? Yeah. That stuff terrifies me.
Dak has a try-hard aura, but I mean, Jalen Hurts is just.
You got to respect Jalen Hurts, though, man.
100%.
Like, getting pulled out of a national championship game, then you got to pull yourself out of that. Then you go to the NFL. I respect those types of stories more than I respect the golden goose who gets born on third.
No doubt. No, I'm with you. I've always liked Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I ain't never had a problem.
I've talked about him a lot. Like when they drafted him in the second round, like that was good work.
Absolutely. That's why you cannot sell yourself. If a scenario like that happens, you cannot sell yourself to need in the draft. You can't. Okay. If there's a guy sitting there, you're just like, dude, BPA. I mean, that was insane for him to be there at that point in the draft.
If anything, I was critical of the Eagles that they didn't take him in the first round, so they didn't have an extra year of control.
Yeah.
Control.
Control.
Now, Janet. Now, that was a halftime.
All right.
My first
am I racist for liking Janet Jackson?
Let the streets decide.
You might be.
What about Prince? Am I racist for liking the Prince one?
No, not at all.
Am I racist for liking the Michael Jackson? I'm asking you because I'm not racist.
I can understand why certain people may have not enjoyed last night's halftime show.
Do you know? Can I say
it was not the best?
Who are those?
Thank you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
fully agree. It wasn't Kendrick's best work. It wasn't Kendrick's best.
I liked it better when he was with Dre in L.A. in that version.
Yeah.
My son, he told me, because, believe it or not, Kendrick lives, near where he lived in L.A.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, Dad, you have no idea how big Kendrick is. And,
yeah.
And look, the diss track is one of the greatest diss tracks in the history of diss tracks.
It got played at the Super Bowl. I mean it's over. It's over with now.
And I think because of the first half and it being so bad, I was kind of amped to what – it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
There was nothing like
And that's where it is. It wasn't bad, but at the same time, I can understand. And there were some things like the only thing I felt was out of his control was the microphone audio. Sure, I thought that sounded weird. You really couldn't hear him like that. Then on top of the fact that his cadence is what it is, it makes it hard to breathe sometimes. Like, this is the first time a rapper has solo held down the halftime show. So while it wasn't bad, it wasn't his best performance.
I almost get it, to the point that Stick made. I almost get it. If I sat back here and said this was trash, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
If you want to play you're the old man shaking his fist at a cloud, or you want to play the races, but, it's really weird. We're at this dynamic right now where if you just said, it was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. People are mad at you.
My biggest request was just more up-tempo stuff, right? Like, when I think Super Bowl halftime, I think party. I think everybody. I think, that's what I had envisioned. And fine, he went the artsy way. He went some more low
He did most of the stuff off his newer album. Right. He didn't play a lot of his older hits.
But, I come from top 40 radio. It's been ingrained in my head. Play the hits. Play the hits.
There was a sports radio station in town that
ran
that.
And it was always, if you go to your favorite band concert, you want to sing along with your favorite song. You don't want to be educated.
This
you
is
want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let me know when you're playing the banger from 20 years ago. I want to hear Mad City.
I can understand why the casual audience didn't really. As a Kendrick fan, it did enough for me. It did enough for me, but I can understand why people didn't.
No, somebody in the chat said it. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst, and that's kind of where I was.
To me, he hit his groove midway through. That's when he really started to hit his groove. But it took him a minute.
He could have done Not Like Us. But he's 12 minutes, and I would have been happy.
100%.
True, but he's also a rapper that doesn't do lip singing in the back or lip sync. Like, he does all the instrumentals like himself. Yeah. So that's tough to do when you're on the Super Bowl stage.
I'm not saying we go down into these weeds, but to that point, what that guy just said, I can think of 3 or 4 that I enjoyed immensely more.
Yeah.
I can think of 3 or 4 that I did throw the trash word out.
Katy Perry, Black Eyed Peas, those were awful.
Yeah,
awful.
They weren't as bad
They
weren't as bad as a Rolling Stones.
I walked away. I was there. I literally walked out. See, I liked McCartney because it hit. It checked the boxes of nostalgia, and like you said,
it was with Kanye,
fun.
And Rihanna
too. It was fun.
Right.
But to me, there's Prince.
Prince was the best one.
Prince and everybody else.
Best ever.
That's it.
It actually rained purple when he did Purple Rain. How do you top that?
Yeah, it was.
There were purple raindrops.
And listen, as weird as that dude was, and I'm showing my age, but Michael Jackson was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Dude just stood there for 2 minutes and did nothing.
was-
People went insane.
People lost their minds.
Peat 79, there were no lights, no colors, and the music sucked. And Peat, like, I'll say this, I'm probably in a minority with this. I really liked The Weeknd. When The Weeknd did the halftime, I really liked it. But it was cool. Like, it was visually cool.
He's a more mainstream artist as well.
Yeah.
Kendrick has a lot of messaging in his music, which a lot of people didn't understand what the hell he was talking about in some of them songs last night. And I can understand that.
Do you know what it was like?
Wait, what's that look for, Stick?
Just the whole, like, you know what that looks for.
I'm
Neil.
elite and you're not.
You don't understand.
No, but it's the truth.
You're not part of the culture.
Do we not agree? No, it's not even just. It's not even that.
I'm not saying you, KG, but like,
do we
on
not
Twitter,
agree that the Super
stuff
Bowl is a mainstream audience?
Yes.
You're going to get more casuals than hardcore
goes back
fans
to
of people.
play the hits?
Yeah,
right?
so and I understand that.
KG, all right,
I'm not denying it.
I'm going to get your back because you know what? It was like my son and I watching a hockey game where I had to translate for him. And we've been there before. So there would be something. I go, Jack, what does that mean? And he had to translate for me. So my son was translating for me.
It was a lot of translation.
There was a lot
last
of
night.
translation last night.
Alex Cobb, you got me. I'm full-blown racist.
That's
That's why I liked Kendrick better in the LA performance than this one.
It was funny, though. Some of the Republicans were talking about, it was a great performance because he wasn't doing all that woke crap and not knowing the type of artist Kendrick is. It was a lot of woke crap in there, but I thought it was hilarious.
It
though.
wasn't hard to see that either.
There was a certain sector. That's all I'm saying.
The
There's a certain
tone
sector.
on Samuel L. Jackson.
I wasn't doing
that was fly, though, having Sam out there to do the interludes. That was fly.
I wasn't having my French translation for that. I kind of understood early on what was going on there.
There's no woke stuff. Like,
Well,
yeah, funny story about that.
Shad 216. Majority of the people that didn't like the halftime show are the same ones who don't like Jameson Williams. There's
It's a
probably
good
an
correlation.
There's probably
It's
an
a
angle on
correlation
that.
there.
There probably is
There's a correlation.
A very accurate
I'm
angle.
not saying it's 100%.
But I think we can all agree on one thing. We all love Seal as a Seal.
Oh, my God. He's
That
putting
should
him on
be-
the screen
that's
right
your
now.
next halftime performance is Seal as a Seal.
When we come back, I do want to touch on the commercials, and we'll get into the Pistons. And but I do because you want to talk about was the worst.
It was the commercials. And
They
half
were
of those
the worst.
commercials had been played before the Super Bowl, way before the Super Bowl.
It was the
horrible.
absolute worst, man. I was very, very
How do you pay
disappointed.
$8 million for bullshit like that?
I don't know, man.
They pay $8 million per commercial.
But they did, though.
That is crazy.
They absolutely did. Tell them about Mark White, Stick.
Mark White gonna get you right. You looking to buy a house? Mark White is going to take care of you, even though the camera is on Sean. It
Behave,
should be
Sean.
on me, but that's all right.
Behave.
Save
Whole
$5,000
world
on
watching.
your new home. Mark White and Associates, they got your back. You can just mark it sold. You like what he did there? Because his name's Mark, and it says mark it sold. Very clever. Play on words like seal as a seal. These guys are marketing geniuses,
Horrible.
and they can get you into the house of your dreams. Save $5,000 with Mark White.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule here for FeldmanAuto.com. That is the website. We're here at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, but did you know there are many Feldman Auto dealerships in and around town? What if you want a different brand of car? FeldmanAuto.com, that's the move. What if you want a used car? Go to FeldmanAuto.com. Are you noticing a pattern here? If you want a car in Detroit, you go to FeldmanAuto.com. You can start the buying process online. When you get that car that you like, you can start that buying process right there. They're local as well. They've been in the game since 1996. They do great work with the Children's Miracle Network hospitals as well. They're a part of the fabric here of Detroit. There is no doubt about that. If you need a car, go to FeldmanAuto.com. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMEC. We have KG. We have Stick in the building. Joey's in the house. Joey. They got Chubby Charlie's Pizza here. Shout out Lou, who said told everybody to enjoy. Appreciate
Thanks,
you,
Lou.
Lou. Yep, no doubt.
You the man, Lou.
The pickle pizza. That's where it's
I'm
at.
a little scared
everybody.
of that one. I ain't gonna lie.
One thing America can agree on: Chubby Charlie's.
No, that is true. Commercials sucked. Next.
No.
Yeah.
The seal commercial was good.
Yeah.
Seal is a seal.
It was good for.
Seal is a seal.
Good. It wasn't good for me, but.
I like.
Why do you hate it so? KG's taking it like personal.
I'm not.
Like, look,
It's
at, look at what they're making this guy shucking John.
Yeah, I'm just saying, seal on the actual seal. I'm just look at how they portray us. That's all I'm saying. I'm just come on, man. Like we could have did better than seal on the actual seal. Somebody got to stand up and say something. Goddamn.
They not like us. They not like us.
I'm just
We
saying.
is the seals. We is the seals.
This is not how I wanted to be portrayed during Black History Month.
You know,
Happy Black History
We
Month.
only get 1 month of this.
I'm putting
a
this
year.
on a T-shirt. It's going to say
Like,
Happy Black History
Yeah,
Month.
no, you have fun with that.
Seal at Wakanda.
I die. Hey, listen. I don't expect y'all to understand. It's okay.
You know what?
Here we go.
I like to listen. All jokes. I like the dudes that aren't afraid to just go whatever. I don't take myself so seriously.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Beckham and Matt Damon later. You
Yeah.
know, like the Ben Affleck joke, and were you any good at soccer? And like chill, relax.
Yeah.
You know, because could you imagine Eminem like having fun with like M&Ms or something? You know,
Yeah, it would be dope. He's
M
never
would
done
throw.
it. That's right.
Yeah, there's no
Jamie
way.
Foxx is a fox. Let's
There's
go.
No way
That
he
would have
can
been
throw
more.
That away.
That would have been more palatable. I feel like
Let's do
Jamie
it.
Foxx is a fox, but
Seal is a seal.
yeah,
It's
this one
incredible.
wasn't. It wasn't hitting like that. For me.
Somebody in the chat's fixated on why isn't Lil Wayne doing the halftime? Maybe 10 years ago.
You're right. Come on now.
I mean, it was New Orleans. They
Kendrick
should've-
was the biggest artist at that point.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just because they have a Super Bowl there doesn't mean like the person that does a halftime has to
Exactly.
be from there. really.
Exactly.
I don't know. The LA one when
And-
they brought out all of Compton was pretty cool. Like when Dre came out, when Snoop came out,
That
when
was-
Kendrick
yeah, it was
came
cool,
out.
yeah.
Like that was cool.
The whole Dre and Friends, that's
Yeah.
another one. If we're talking about greats,
Stick.
that was a great
Stick
show.
is pounding the table for Pitbull at the next Miami Super Bowl, right?
Why
I
not?
can see it.
Why not? Pitbull and
I'm
DJ
surprised they
Khaled
haven't
come
done
out.
that yet. I'm surprised they haven't done it.
That's why we were talking in San Francisco's the next one, so it's going to be who did we say? It's going to be
remember.
too short and E40, and then Chris Stapleton's going to come out just to appease the whites.
E40 is a wild combination.
Short Dog ain't coming out to Santa Clara or wherever that
Yeah,
stadium
yeah.
is, man.
What's
they got to
my
have it in
favorite
Oakland.
word? Like that get the
I
crowd
miss-
going.
Yeah, I like that Short Dog pops up on a on a voiceover every now and then.
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
got
a track.
album.
You know, I do like that.
And I mean, Kendrick struggled. Lil Wayne would have struggled with a performance like last night too.
No.
Because he's not that rap. Regular rap shows are way more paced out. When you're doing the Super Bowl, you have to do songs back to back to back while running the length of a football
Wayne's got much more high energy.
field. No, he doesn't. Have
Yeah,
you
he
seen
does.
some of his live performances
Yeah,
lately?
yes, I've been up close. Me and Joey been like 2 feet from him.
It ain't been that good. But like I said, a regular rap show is different. Super Bowl, that's tough.
Jonesy said, I did laugh at the Bud Light commercial. Your mower smokes meat? No, my smoker cuts grass. LOL. I did think of you when I saw that.
That was, yeah.
Are you going to look into that?
Oh, absolutely.
I thought William Dafoe and his wife playing pickleball was
I did
better
too.
commercials.
Dude, you know
Yeah.
what? I got that. I got that. Wasn't it? It was the mom from Home Alone, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Dafoe? That was good.
Smash the numbers. Seal probably said, I will do it. If you give me $5 million, I will do it.
Hey, man, whoever was working at Mountain Dew that pitched that was like, you know what, guys? I had an idea last night. Why don't we see if we can get Seal and then CGI him to look like a seal? And the rest of the room was like, damn it, that's it.
And
that's what we're rolling
and this
with.
is why marketing is in the toilet in 2025.
That's been the most talked about thing today.
Dudes have been smoking all afternoon. I got it.
Correction, the most talked about thing here.
Yeah.
So only here, though.
Real cream of wheat. This Kendrick dude takes himself way too seriously.
Yep.
I think they're talking to you.
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
You sound like soccer guy.
I can be that. That's fine.
You sound like soccer guy. You just don't get it.
We're not gonna act like y'all ain't casuals. So.
Tom
of Kendrick Lamar?
Yes.
Come on, man.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just like somebody in the chat said, rap isn't for everybody, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but casting a broad brush over people you don't know is kind of ignorant.
It can be considered that way.
Yeah, it is.
America seems to get off on it. So
Boy, don't they ever.
Right. I was about to say, America seems to think it's okay to do that.
We all got to pull the plug on that game.
Fucking sue me.
Take it to one, guys.
Yeah.
Take it to one. No. All right, let's do this then. Let's cut to the break. Then when we come back, I do want to talk a little bit about the Pistons.
Yeah.
We got to turn some attention to the Tigers, right? Like that's happening. Still no third baseman. So there is a ton of stuff to get to. We'll wrap up the Super Bowl thoughts as well. Talk about Lady Jane, Stick.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You want to go in, you want to get stylish, you want to look good, make sure you go to Lady Jane's. They got Metro Detroit locations all over the place, and even when you're out of town, you can hit up Lady Jane's because they are the spot to do it. Lady Jane's, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, and Woodward Sports merch, here to tell you about it, man. Go to WoodwardSports.com, click that shop tab, and y'all already know, man, we come in with the fire merch. I understand belt to ass. I understand the way it all ended, but that was still a fire idea if you ask me. But we got the Tigers merch up here. We got the Let's Fucking Go Red Wing shirt. And, of course, we getting Pistons gear. We got all the Lions gear you need, everything you need at WoodwardSports.com, and click that shop tab.
Shout out Chubby Charlie's Pickle Pizza, guys. I know. This is the taller of pizza. The New Holland taller.
I am such a pizza traditionalist. Okay, I'm serious, all right? Double pepperoni. Maybe I can go with the pizza or something. I don't know is that cheese underneath?
Correct.
Yeah.
Underneath the regular mozzarella cheese, is that cheese?
Yeah, it's I forget what kind of sauce it is.
Yeah, it's not
like a white.
traditional
It's like a white sauce.
Lou, dude, this
Yeah.
is I'm not joking, okay? I'm being 100%. This is legit.
100%. Yeah, it's good. Like it's because usually like those designer pizzas or those gimmick pizzas or whatever, usually they're like too much. But this is like legit perfect. Legit perfect. Pickle pizza, guys. I'm telling you, Chubby Charlie's. Give it a spin, man. I'm telling you guys that. Harry's World. Jared Goff's like Adrian Dantley. He made us better, but not good enough. Time to cut bait, shop him while he still has something to offer. So then Harry's, okay, then what's your move at quarterback next year for the window? What's your move, Harry's? Like, that's
Aaron Rodgers.
stupid.
Let's go get Aaron Rodgers. Everything will be okay. We'll go get Aaron Rodgers.
Like, people say this. Like, for real. Like, people say that. It's time to cut bait. And then what?
With who? This is where we talk about the window, okay? And I firmly believe that the window is open for a few years, okay? But if you're one of those people that we're never going to win with Jared Goff, never going to happen. Well, that tells me two things. You really don't believe that this window's that wide open, and if you believe that this window's that wide open, well then, who's the quarterback you're going to go get? Who's the guy, Neil? And that's the.
There's 8 teams in this league that don't know what they're going to do next year at quarterback. Guess how it's going to go for them.
They're going to draft one in the first round, and every year we have this conversation. It's amazing. Like, this quarterback class stinks. Okay, as long as you accept the fact they're all going to be drafted in the first round, we can move on. We can be friends. Everything's cool.
Quarterback in the draft is a religion of football. It's a religion of it. Hurricane Pickle Pizza is a mood. No, 100%. It is.
Wow, I'm really, really surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm salty. You don't have a window if your quarterback keeps turning the ball over. You're right. The end of the Patrick Mahomes era is now. What?
None.
All right, so who? All right, okay. So there's no window, or there is a window with the right quarterback. Well, then who's the right quarterback? Like, who are you going to go get right now that fits in with this team? That I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're from Washington. I don't care if you're from Philly. I don't care if you're Coochie Coochie Coo Viking fan checking in again. Okay, this is a pretty good team with a whole heck of a lot of good pieces. Okay, that's been built the right way. All right. So who are you going to get to come in that's going to be better than Jared Goff? I'll listen. Let me know. Please, somebody.
Absolutely. Shane Daniel, they're out here eating pizza, and I'm stuck here eating leftover shrimp and mac and cheese. Well, you're winning too.
Oh, that's not a bad
That don't sound
combo,
horrible.
man. That's
Yeah.
it.
Sound like you have a wife that loves you.
I fire a little spices in there.
Right.
You turn that into something special.
Mike O'Neill, that pickle pizza looks good, actually. No, it is. Like, you wouldn't think
guys,
for real. Like, you wouldn't think it
try
would be.
it.
I'll come full circle on it here. When they brought it into the studio at Woodward the first time, I was skeptical, but my man Joey was like, "You got to try this. It's good." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for the show here." And I tried it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is like really good.
Yeah,
like I would get this good. Like I'll go buy it good.
I agree.
So it is." Chad 216, Mahomes tried to play hero ball. Well, their 17 rushing yards they had weren't exactly helping him a lot.
Right. He had no choice but to play hero ball.
He was the only one left, everybody. Marked Royal. How many Super Bowls does Goff have? Not the same as Patrick. Well, hey, all you got to do is put pressure on
You
him.
guys.
Well, let's be honest. Goff didn't get to take over a team like Patrick Mahomes did that was ready built for a Super Bowl. The 2 teams that Goff's taken over have been dog shit,
Neil, don't
and
pay
he
attention.
took them there.
Neil, don't pay attention. Neil really doesn't believe that Patrick stinks, you guys.
No, it's over.
You weren't
Alex
supposed to
Smith built that team.
They figured him out. They figured him out. All you got to do is pressure him.
I love that. All you got to do is pressure.
All you got to do is pressure him.
It's over.
And he's a turnover factory.
over,
He
man.
throws awful interceptions. Like I want that out there.
Strawberry turnover, raspberry turnover, and just turnovers for everybody. Absolutely.
Yes.
Did I mention how good this is really? I'm not.
Right.
Like, the same thing. I walked in the back room. I said to Joey, I go, "Look, I got to try it." And then I took a bite, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
And a whole new world started playing. You need to do it.
I might. But
Try
even for the classic people out there, the classic pizza slaps. That pepperoni, oh, my God, so good.
Woodward Sports Hoof Hearted has the answer for you, Sean. With the 28th selection in the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select, there's got to be someone better than Goff, quarterback, SEC school.
Y'all keep thinking that shit.
That's
Dante,
a good pick.
Dante 151. Okay, now let's talk Pistons. All right, Dante, you got it, man, because I want to as well. It got sticky for a minute there in that game yesterday, but in the end, they did what they needed to do, and they got another win. But I'll tell you what, Sean, the one for me was Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night was the one, man. No Cade. I saw on social media everybody was all disappointed, like, oh, great, now we're going to get killed by the 76ers. And I'll say this. You guys have heard me talk about Data Davis, Anthony Data Davis, who's hurt again, by the way. But you've heard me talk about him, and you know my disdain for him. I'll say this officially after that Philadelphia game. Joel Embiid is one of my most hated figures in sports.
I knew it.
Just foul merchant, whistle merchant, like getting angry at other people. Like, bro, you were on the floor too when they got down 32 points. You were there. It was part of your fault as well.
Him arguing with Kelly Oubre was funny on the sideline.
Yeah, dude,
pretty
like
funny.
it was. But anyway, the moral of the story is, Sean, for the Pistons thing, it's real, man. Like, it's real. And it's not go win the Eastern Conference real, but I'm talking about it's coming off of what was it, 14 win season last year and getting into the playoffs. That is real.
There are a lot of people out there, whether they want to admit it or not, that want to play C right now. Okay? And you know what C is. See, I told you, you guys are getting carried away about this team. Friday night was a perfect example to play C. Okay? Because you built this lead that nobody saw without Cade, okay? I mean, you're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, here comes Philly. How many times in the past, forget last couple years, decade, have the Detroit Pistons lost that game? And I'm not being funny.
A lot.
I've seen so many losses like that where you start to – I remember I told you a couple months ago, I got pissed off, and I call myself out. I got pissed off because they had that great overtime win against Miami, and then they turned around and absolutely crapped the bed against the Utah Jazz. So I'm one of those guys. I'll openly admit it. See, you know what? I gave you an opportunity,
right?
And this is how you repay me. You just lost after this big win in OT against Miami. You just lost to this 4-win team. Same old thing. And then you check out. Mm-hmm. Because, again, I use the analogy all the time. We all have a plate. We have a sports plate, okay? And there's a big, healthy heaping of football on there for everybody, okay? For some people, they have this much hockey on there. For some people like me, you have that much hockey on there.
Weirdos like you.
Right. You have
KG's played as Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
it's all the same.
You don't even know.
Right.
No, and then you have the small slivers. You have this and you have that. And I got to go check out what OU's doing. I got to go check out what this is doing. Okay. So for a lot of people, especially during football season, if you see the same crap from the Pistons, you know what they do? Really? I mean, that's what happens. Right. It is different. Okay, now define different. Is this a team that's going to make a large foray in the NBA playoff? No. Is this a team that is I don't think it's crazy to say that they're going to be a 6th seed. I don't think
that's where they sit right now.
But you know as well as I do what's the flip side of that. Well, they're going to fade down the stretch. Everybody knows it because that's what we've seen the last 10 years.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not this Pistons team.
I don't think so.
And as we said, too, as I was talking about earlier, like the Atlanta Hawks kind of waved the white flag with their moves at the deadline.
Yep.
So they're no longer a factor.
Shit, the Heat to a degree, too. To a degree.
The Heat, yeah.
They'll still try to compete. I just don't think they're that good.
Right. Like, they got rid of Jimmy Butler.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
so.
And when you say it that way, somebody who wants to be offended would say, well, it's just the Pistons are a byproduct of the teams around them. No, but when you had a 14-win season last year and a GM and a coach came in here and snapped their fingers and changed this thing, that's what Trajan Langdon did. Mm-hmm. He walked in here and snapped his fingers like that. I don't think he's getting the credit that he deserves. And we fixate on J.B. Bickerstaff, and I do because I like him as a person.
Trajan,
I like working with him.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be like a firm understanding of what Trajan Langdon has done.
Yeah.
Went and signed 2 vets and changed it all.
Mm-hmm. And you just traded for one for free, and he's going to come in and he's going to help this team.
They got paid. to take him.
Yeah,
they got
they
draft
did.
picks to take him.
They did.
Like that's
And he's going to
what's
help
wild.
the team. He's not just
100%.
He's not a vet that's just going to come in and take up space on your bench. He's somebody that's actually going to go out there, give you buckets, be able to assist the basketball. And I just love everything that Trajan has done with this team to this point. And to your point, Sean, for the people that don't see the Pistons as often as some of us do, you do tend to get caught up game to game. But with Pistons and with NBA basketball, it's more of you have to pay attention to trends. You can't just take every game in a single vacuum. And what the trends told us is that the Pistons are a physical team. They're going to come out. They're going to give you effort every single night. They're going to be in most games every single night. And if the shooting is hot from three-point range, they are a very, very dangerous team. And you just look at the improvements that Cade has made. You look at the fact that you have veterans that can actually go play. Like I said this on the morning show, when was Bogey doing any of this? If Cade had to miss the game, when was Bogey just taking over the game? Like, okay, we'll hold it down. No, you had Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, people that you came in here to come in and contribute are out there doing it. So, and Jalen Duren's giving you the best minutes he's ever gave you. He came out and admitted, I haven't been playing the best. I was kind of playing on some soft-ish. And you're seeing, the better byproduct to him buying into the system.
You know what I wonder, though? I wonder if there are a lot of people out there, because I don't think this can be stressed enough. Look, when you get rid of a guy who openly told you he didn't want to be here, okay? And I remember at the time, I respected him when he said, yeah, I did it for the money. Do you remember that first problem? Because I did it for the money. I was like, that's really refreshing, okay? When you get rid of a guy who openly didn't want to be here, okay, everything's going to get better. So maybe, to answer your point, maybe that's why Trajan doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Maybe because people are looking at it going, well, of course you're going to be better. You have a healthy Cade Cunningham. You have, now you got rid of a guy that was a culture issue. Because if we can pick up on that, what do you think those guys in the room he don't want to be here.
No.
I don't want to play for him. He don't want to be here. He openly said he didn't want to be here. He came here for the money, right?
Yeah.
And that'll teach people to be honest in the future, right? No more honest coaches. This is exactly where I want to be and all that stuff. But I think maybe that's why they're not getting maybe the love just yet that they deserve.
Well, they got to earn the trust of the city back, and I'm not mad at that at all, because
this team is the next Detroit team.
I believe so too.
The fans are going to latch on. Malik Beasley said, no. Please do not trade me.
Yeah.
Please do not trade me. I want to be here. Malik Beasley said that. Ron Holland is the next Detroit guy.
He could be.
Squares up, isn't flashy.
He a crash out for sure, as Spitty would say. He's a crash out.
No doubt.
Right.
He'll square up with you. But somebody in the chat, and my apologies because I forgot the name, said earlier, since December 1st or whatever that number is, he's above 30% from three for a guy that supposedly couldn't shoot.
And this is something I told you, because you didn't believe that he can even hit that mark. And I'm like, just give him time.
I was like, 30% is aggressive.
Yeah,
man.
but I'm like, if he can at least get to that, then he's going to be a threat in this league.
And he will do what it takes on the floor.
Yes.
Maximum effort, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All that, as you said, like a crash out.
Yeah.
but in a good way.
But he's
like
only going to get better. This is him in his rawest product. He's only going to get better from here.
Again, I go back to that game in Phoenix in the preseason, and I know it's preseason, but I was doing the radio call for that game, and there was a loose ball. It went to the floor, and Ron Holland got it and was tied up with one of the Suns players. I forget who it was. They blow the whistle. They say jump ball. Ron Holland wasn't giving up the ball, nor was the Suns guy.
You damn right.
30 seconds go by. Guys are coming off the bench trying to get them separated, and Ron Holland's just shaking his head like, this is my ball. Like, I got the ball.
But we're going to have this conversation before NFL preseason, because when I hear, and I'm guilty of it as much as anybody, exhibition games are next to useless, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody that puts anything into the final score, like, that's your way of telling me, cool, I don't ever have to talk sports with that person again.
Right.
Like, honestly, and you know as well as I do. God forbid the Lions actually go 0-3 in the what's going on with our Lions? I told you it was falling apart. That's basically your way of telling me, oh, cool, I don't ever have to talk sports with you. But to say that it's completely useless is I think, a disrespect to moments like that. Mm-hmm. I want to see effort. I want to see some kid look at the veteran and give him a snarl. I want to see battles won, things like that. So that's why I often have to stop myself and say, I can't say useless because of moments like that.
No, it was pretty important because I came on the show and talked about it, and I said, man, like this guy's there's something to him, man.
Yeah,
like there's a dog to this guy.
They're getting people in here that fit a culture, and there's that word again.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lot of ways we talk about how the Lions built a culture, and that's really what's giving us the product that we're seeing right now. The Pistons are getting people in here that fit the mold of what they want on the basketball floor, and that is a no-nonsense team, a team that is physical. They're fearless. They go out there and they give you 100% effort each and every night, and they've been in a lot of games this year because of that.
And you know what? It all starts with defensive
Yeah,
basketball.
there you go.
Amazing, isn't it?
In an era when everything's going offensive, JB Bickerstaff's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to establish a defensive
Defense
team
first,
because
yeah.
I don't need talent for that. I need effort.
Yeah.
And
And he's done it everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
Everywhere and it's huge too. He took over Memphis midseason.
Yeah.
Took them from 26 in the league in defense to 13.
Yep.
Got the Cavs job. I think they were 15 or 16 in the league. Got them to number 1 overall, the number 1 defensive team in
And
the
got
NBA.
them into the playoffs right away.
And the Pistons, kind of the same deal, man.
this era's
Upper
Larry
20s.
Brown.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
waiting for. I'm waiting for that moment in a playoff where somebody goes, this basketball has set the game back 30 years. When I hear that, then it's like,
Yeah.
DNC ENT Neil, there's a path to the Pistons in a conference semifinals game 5, 6, or 7. We can start talking about that.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
100% you can.
There's no reason why, and I brought this up and I asked, is it crazy for me to think they can hit 40 wins? And at this point, you got to consider
me,
it.
KG. You didn't want to listen to me.
But also,
you didn't want to listen to me.
Once again, you had to earn the fans' trust back because we have seen so much BS from the front office to the players on this team. We had to see it. I mean, you talking about 17 wins and then you followed that up with 14 the year after. You had to earn our trust back as a fan base.
And to your point about game by game, if somebody says I like what I saw and they turn in,
Yeah.
It's almost like the Detroit Lions thing.
same old Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
This is my fault.
Right.
This is what I get.
There has to be some kind of continuity, okay? Or at least that effort out there, not getting dogged by, the 4-win team or whatever the case may be. Look, they've grown just in the last 2 months. They really have. They're growing in front of our eyes,
And
man.
just like the Lions, the Pistons, you had to see the consistency in order to be like, okay, this is sustainable. This is something that we can actually, build from. And even, the most success we had before that was the Blake Griffin years. And why I don't poo-poo, what Blake Griffin brought to this team.
Greatest year of his career.
It was.
Analytically.
But at the end of the day, you knew that shit wasn't sustainable. You knew it wasn't going to be a product. But you knew it wasn't going to be a product that was going to be around for a while.
knew that he was this close to
Yeah,
death.
they got bounced out in the first round.
It was old guys
quickly.
getting bounced from the first round.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like you want young guys getting bounced from the first round because at least they're learning something.
Right,
Like what
right.
did Blake Griffin learn from getting bounced as an 8 seed?
Nothing.
I don't have a knee. That's what he learned.
Right.
Oh, wow, I played these extra 4 games, and now I have no knee.
Right, my leg is go.
Just to follow up your point there, DNCNT in the chat, if the playoffs started today, Pistons Knicks. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And the Pistons
3
match
seed.
up well with the Knicks,
Oh, my
believe
gosh,
it or
would
not.
that'd be fun.
Believe it or not, man.
Oh,
This Pistons team too, 13-13 on the road.
Yeah.
Young teams don't do that, man.
We got it.
That's-
I think they could possibly win a playoff series. And I know that's getting a little bit ahead of myself, but we got to just go off what we've seen. And what they've
that'd
shown
be
me is
fun.
they are a team that can compete. So
Super Bowl Cartier's having a day. You should trust Brad Holmes to finally address the defensive line. And I would say, wow, like the number 2 overall pick in the draft.
The second round pick that year with Pascal.
Yeah.
Then Aleem McNeil.
Aleem
then Broderick
McNeil,
Martin.
trade, making the move for DJ Reader.
yeah.
I'm flabbergasted today. I didn't know that there was this disrespect flying all over about the Lions' defensive line.
I told you, Sean.
Neil, you're right. I didn't.
told
I
you,
had
man.
no idea. Like I said, I guess I'll watch a different game than other people.
Here's the deal, though. It's not just about the defensive line now. What I'm starting to see is a bunch of Brad Holmes detractors coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
was the worst draft class he's had to date.
Yeah, I've seen
Can
a
we
lot of
trust
that.
him with this
At
next
least
year
I'm
draft? Brad Holmes he's doing it in the draft, but he's not doing it in free agency. Brad Holmes isn't doing it in the trade market either. Those are all things I've heard since the end of the Super Bowl because they're saying Brad Holmes passed on Carter. Brad Holmes passed on Cooper DeJean. Brad Holmes passed on Mitchell. He could have had all those guys, but he went.
You couldn't.
But
you only had one pick.
Exactly. But he chose to build the offense. Well, now that a defense just won the Super Bowl, People are coming at Brad Holmes like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
The live in the moment people will never, ever, ever cease to amaze me because and this is what happens when you're consistent in life. I refuse to talk about a draft class success or failure until you're 2 years in.
Yeah.
I will not do it. I won't. And do you know what I use as an example all the time? You guys, whether you want to admit it or not, is inconsequential. There were people that wanted to run Darius Slay out of town his first year. It happened. I lived it. Okay.
His numbers wasn't the best.
I lived
kind of looked like
it.
Terry and Arnold's numbers.
And you told people, chill, calm, especially at that position. Jameis Williams. I mean, there were people as recent as before this season. This is a bust. I can't believe it. Why did the Lions use a luxury pick? All those stuff. You guys, at least give it a couple of years. Okay, you know what? I'm with you. Right now, I'm not sure about this past draft class. I'm not sure about the class of 2024. Can we revisit it like after next year? When these guys have a couple of years, for goodness sake.
But also one of the counterpoints was Jamison Williams. Like, oh, my gosh, you didn't go ahead and draft Carter because of issues, right? Off-the-field issues, character issues. But you go get Jamison Williams, who's been suspended for juicing and gambling and all of that. So maybe Brad Holmes' moral compass isn't even there. Like, I've heard all of this because they won.
Woodward Sports chat thread, also Super Bowl. He says, Pascal, Levi, let me see, where was it? Broderick Martin and Pascal are home runs, LOL. Then let's talk about it then, right? Kyron Johnson that the Eagles took in the 2022 draft, he's got 8 tackles.
Home run.
Bum. Absolute bum, right? Keep it consistent. Howie Roseman's lost his touch, dude, Patrick Mahomes.
You're playing a losing game. I'm just going to tell you to stop right now.
Yeah, no one bats 1,000. Well. No one bats 1,000.
Not going well.
Except Soroki's. Tell us about Soroki's.
What a segue.
Absolutely.
Elite.
Hey, elite, right? Like, bottom line, the watch party. The watch parties were my favorite things because we had Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. The wings are phenomenal, by the way.
Biscuits.
Spicy garlic. The biscuits are next level. Guys, this is like our taller thing that we talk about. I'm not playing around with you here. Like, this isn't like doing a commercial. It's
where
good.
Sean's going.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
No, but Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza, they're popping up everywhere. You can pull up on them. They're all over the Metro Detroit area. They have elite chicken wings, elite chicken tenders, and great pizza as well. They check all the boxes, everybody. Soroki's.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Back at it, Big D Energy coming down the stretch. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Stick.
Look what KG did.
What do you got? Got the pickle pizza?
We talked him into it.
We did.
I'm intrigued. I want to see what his reaction is.
I am too.
All right.
Burn in the super chat. By the way, if you want to skip the line in the chat, jump in with the super chat. It took Howie 17 years with the Eagles, 6 as GM and 1 where they put him in the janitor's closet to win one, and then 7 years to win 2 Super Bowls. And Burn, like, people forget that too. They act like the Eagles are brand new here. Like that's and he's been elite. Like Howie Roseman's elite. He's elite at drafting. He's elite. He's an elite GM, just like what I believe Brad Holmes to be as well.
And by the way, just a reminder, he won the first Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Just for what it's worth.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, and that's I was talking about it during the watch party yesterday. Like, I want that to kind of be a example for Lions fans to not panic next year if the Lions go 11-6 or something like that. KG, we'll pause for KG to eat the pickle. He loves the pickles.
Okay. All right. 8 out of 10.
There we go.
Oh, man,
there it is.
Eight out of
It's
10.
solid.
That's respect.
It's solid.
Yeah.
But no, that's what
I'm a
I don't want
believer.
Lions fans
I'm
to
a
jump
believer.
off the bridge next
Absolutely.
year if things don't go exactly. Because look at you heard Eagles fans wanting Sirianni gone last
Gone.
year. Get him out of here. You know what his biggest mistake was? Matt Patricia. Can we now acknowledge that Matt
Yeah.
Patricia could arguably be the worst coach to ever coach a football team? He turned that defense. Matt Patricia is Monty Williams to J.B. Bickerstaff. That's what he is. He took Matt Patricia's defense, who couldn't stop anything, worst ever defensive backs, and this year, all world with a new defensive coordinator. That's more of a, like, that points out a lot of what Matt Patricia
The way it fell apart last year, too. I mean, the bottom dropped out. I remember
Matt Patricia.
Like seriously, you were going, oh, I'm terrified of this team. I'm still terrified of the Eagles. And then it just went, oof.
It was gone.
It was gone. And they lost to that awful Giant team. And
Lost at Tampa in the playoffs, and they're
like,
pointing fingers at each other on
all
the
of that.
sidelines. It was awful.
And it was ugly, too. So, I mean, again, I don't care what anybody says. You know what's going to happen next year. If we meander through the regular season, even if we go 10-7, people are going to lose their mind around here. And like I'm telling you right now, I'm at the point. Of course, I'm going to enjoy the regular season. I'm going to enjoy the watch parties. I'm going to enjoy the pregame shows. I'm going to enjoy all of it. But the ride don't mean as much until the playoff starts, because now we're going to make our monies in the playoffs. Regular season, none of it means anything to me.
I got
anymore.
murdered for saying that this year. Like, people were going nuts when I don't care about the first seed.
Means nothing.
What do you mean?
Means
You
nothing.
get a bye. You get home field. It's like, it doesn't guarantee you anything.
I lived it.
50% of number one seeds make the Super Bowl.
We lived
Not
it.
50% win the Super Bowl.
We
So,
lived it, man.
Yeah, you just witnessed it. A 2-seed won.
Burn in the super chat, because some people in this chat are kind of dumb. It took Howie Roseman 7 years to build this Super Bowl team they are so desirous of. Extra
Way to go
credit
with
for desirous. Yeah.
That's- I love that word.
No, absolutely. Harry's World, the Final Four in the NFL playoffs had Daniels, Hurts, Mahomes, and Allen, all QBs who can pass as good or better than golf. False. I'm going to stop right there. That's false. Look at the numbers. Look at the accuracy numbers. Like, that is – we're done. Your comment is ended right there.
And oh, by the way, Brock Purdy and Jared Goff were in the one the year before. I like Brock Purdy a lot. Like, come on, man.
I was reading up. He's getting his the 49ers are going to give him the contract.
You really think so?
Oh. They're gonna do it now.
Is that why Debo's leaving?
Have fun with that one.
You see Debo announced he wanted out?
Yeah. What choice do they have?
Get Aaron Rodgers.
Another Mr. Irrelevant.
Get Aaron Rodgers. He on the market.
He's a hometown guy, right? He grew up loving.
By the way, I knew Aaron Glenn.
he
I
grew
knew
up
Aaron
loving
Glenn
the
was.
Niners.
I knew Aaron Glenn wasn't gonna put up with that bullshit. I just want to state for the record, I was the one out here saying that. So
I selfishly, I would love that. I'd love to see him dump Purdy and get Aaron Rodgers. I would love
The
that.
San Francisco window is closed.
I think so too. I really truly do.
That's why I'm saying
I really truly do.
any shred of a window though, it's got to be Purdy. There's no other thing they can do.
But when you got guys like Debo asking out,
Oh, no, well, no
you
doubt,
know,
yeah.
you know that locker room doesn't believe anymore, right? Like Shanahan's voice is run silent.
DNC ENT with a couple of Pistons lines. Pistons are minus 250 to make the playoffs now. So there's that. Kate Cunningham 11-1 to win the 3-point contest. So
it'll be crazy if he wins.
It would be. Yeah.
That's where you get me to tap back in, by the way. I don't watch much of that stuff anymore. I just,
Yeah.
because I've seen it once. You get one of our guys in there, I'm in.
Yeah,
Like,
3-point
that's-
contest is the best event of the weekend.
Yeah.
because the dunk contest is just not it anymore.
That's where this came from.
Yeah.
Larry Bird putting up the number one finger was the best. It's just unbelievable.
Sam Flannel, I'll never get on board with the idea that being a wild card team is advantageous. No, it's not that it's advantageous, because Flannel, when you break it down, linearly, it's technically not. But what it also is it doesn't matter because you're in.
Right.
Yeah.
You're in the dance.
That's all we're pretty much saying. Just get to the playoffs.
Do we like the Detroit Lions? And that's more directed at the people that are so terrified of our schedule, okay? Do you like the team? Do you think that's a good team? Do you think the team can win? Okay, cool. And I mean, and it's the same thing like Flannel. I know, you preach Mahomes, rightfully so. 1 of 1, all that stuff, okay? But remember – last year, man, people were going, what's wrong with this team? They lost Aiden O'Connell. They only won, was it 10-7, 11-6? I don't remember. But when the playoffs start, the Kansas City Chiefs do Kansas City Chiefs things. It doesn't matter. Put them as the 3rd seed, the 2nd seed. It doesn't matter. That's what they do.
It's about rhythm, right? And if you're playing week by week and you're staying hot, you're staying on tempo, you're staying on time, that helps you in ways that a bye week can't help you. Sometimes you see it. Rust does happen when you take time off. The connection between Goff and St. Brown on that play, on the 3rd down play. St. Brown slips, a couple missed blocking assignments. Next thing you know, the ball's on the ground. Like, all those little things come into play. And I'm not saying it's a guaranteed trip to the Super Bowl if you're the number 1 seed. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed trip if you're not. But all I'm saying is some teams need that forward momentum at all times, but you also got to be clicking and healthy.
Yep.
I'm not going to look at it as a negative if they don't go 15-2 again.
No.
Like, that's the bottom line.
It was a waste of 15-2.
100% it was. McLovin, the Lions embarrassed Rodgers, and now even our old coach would be embarrassed to have him. That is true. He's
all right,
not on board.
Is somebody going to grab him? Because I think there are there's only 100%. A small handful that legitimately I could see the Raiders doing something moronic like that.
No, Tom Brady up there. That's not happening.
You don't think so?
Tom Brady's calling the shots over there.
Well, I think they could do that and draft one.
Yeah, they have to draft one. Yeah, they have to. But you could hand the reins to him this year and just say, "This is it, Aaron. You got 1 year." Somebody's going to do it.
Yay, big.
Somebody.
Sean, you know how this league works.
Somebody's going to do it. Yeah, somebody's.
You either have to have a quarterback or the hope that you have a quarterback.
100%.
Either way,
somebody will grab Aaron Rodgers.
No doubt. Stick, what do you want to do? You want to do the I forgot about the last break, man.
You don't have to worry about it. We're good.
Dr. Pierce. Hey, Dr. Pierce tomorrow.
Dr.
Pierce. On Big D Energy. Trust the man that trusted Darren McCarty, or trust the man that Darren McCarty trusted with his career.
And his back. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. Go to Dr. Pierce.
40 Gumble. Neil Sirianni mentioned that the 2023 collapse shaped their run this year. The Lions have the tools. Maybe they have their same moment
adversity
as well.
And this goes back to, would they have been better off to lose that game against Minnesota in the season? Would they have?
Nah.
A pissed-off Lions team going into the playoffs compared to a fat and happy Lions team?
No, just because of the injuries, man.
Yeah.
It was going to do us in, whether we wanted to admit it or not.
You can't outrun it.
It was going to do us in.
You can't outrun it.
That's why I stopped talking about Super Bowl. I did.
Just like Mahomes, who is clear, who if you get pressure on him, he turns up just awful turnovers, and he turns into a civilian with pressure on him. The Chiefs knew it. They knew it was going to be their undoing. If you just got pressure on him, it was going to be over, and it was over.
I just want to say no swears.
You did it, buddy.
Not one.
Good job.
Not one.
With the warm-up still on. Stop playing.
He did. He did do that with the warm-up check.
Yeah, he did. That's what made it fire. He was out there in the warm-up jacket.
I love that video. Do you remember? I took pictures of the ball, like the ball in the different trajectory, and sent them to Neil, like a picture by picture. And Bird's hand was up, like the ball was. It wasn't even coming down yet, and the hand was up.
That was a fast 2 hours. Man.
He walked in that locker room and said, "Who's going to finish second?"
Finishing second. He took every one of their souls in that moment.
Big balls.
Yep.
Big balls.
All right, everybody. We'll be back at it from studio tomorrow. Big shout-out to everybody here at Feldman
guys.
Chevrolet. They're elite, as they always are. Come see my guy, Tim Brown, by the way. Chubby Charlie's Pizza, the pickle pizza. Recommend highly.
Yeah.
And
I'm a believer.
For KG, for
Not
Stick,
seal
for Sean
as a seal,
Belesian.
though.
I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in.
For seal as a seal, we are out.
Well, see you later.